There's some big changes coming down the pipe in the real estate industry now. And as your trusted real estate advisor, I want to make sure you're informed and you're getting the truth, because honestly, I've seen some headlines that are pretty far from what's actually going on. Before I do that, let me introduce myself. I'm Tahoe Tony Tuoto. I'm the managing broker for eXp Realty in beautiful Lake Tahoe, Nevada. Isn't this gorgeous? Coming on with this, I'm sure you've seen some headlines that sellers no longer have to pay commissions or whatever. Everything is going on. So let me give you the basic truth. So the NAR, which is the National Association of Realtors, did a settlement with the Justice Department so that they can settle this case. There was a lawsuit, because what happens in real estate, I'm sure you know, basically if you're selling your house, you hire ABC Realty to sell your house. Now, back in 1996, we changed the rules a little bit. So to get more interest in your house, more exposure of your house, to get more buyers for your house, we changed it. So ABC Realty, if you hire them to sell your house, they're going to take half of those commissions and give that to whoever brings the buyer for your house. So now we've got a lot more people working to get your house sold. And if you're buyers, you're getting a lot more exposure to everything on the market. It was a really good system. The challenge was when sellers were getting their closing statement, they were seeing ABC Realty 7,500, okay, XYZ Realty 7,500. Like, wait a minute, why am I paying XYZ Realty? I had nothing to do with that. I hired ABC Realty. So there was a lawsuit. A bunch of home sellers did a class action lawsuit. They won the lawsuit. NAR, which is the National Association of Realtors, it's the realtor group that I'm affiliated with, where they create all the MLS systems and all the associations that help create all the forms and make everything better for you as a consumer. They were named in that lawsuit. Now, Friday, March 15th, they announced that they have come to an agreement with the Justice Department to settle this lawsuit. It has not been ratified yet. It has not been signed. Today's March 18th, 2024. It has not been signed yet. It's just an agreement. Going forward, what they want to do is the seller will pay the real estate company they hired to sell their house, the commission to sell their house, and then the buyers are going to have to pay their own representation in the real estate process. So if you're buying a house as a buyer, you're going to have to figure out how to pay your agent in order to buy that house. Now, we're not exactly sure how this is going to happen. I've been doing this 26 years. I've actually done that where the seller was an individual. They didn't want to pay any commissions. The buyer and I created an agreement to cover me for all the work I was doing. Everybody was happy. It worked out great. Going forward, we're not exactly sure what's going to happen because this just came down the pipe. So we're trying to figure out what to do best, how to serve our clients best so that everybody's happy. The agents get paid. The buyers get to buy the house. They can afford to buy the house. Everybody's happy. The challenge is, since the seller is the one getting all the money, they're going to have the money. The buyers are trying to buy a house. They're trying to get a down payment. They may be short of cash. So what are we going to do? There may be some very creative things that people can do. We've got a lot of ideas. I can tell those about you, but I don't want to go into this. I want to keep this video a little bit short. But one of the things it is because the sellers are not allowed to pay the buyer's commission, the sellers can say, we will give a concession to the buyer's agent in order to complete the transaction. So they're not paying the commission, they're giving a concession, which is basically what the commissions were before, but now they're calling it a concession and not a commission. So as a seller, you can do that if you want to make your house more competitive and get sold, which is the system we've had in the past. That's very helpful. As a buyer, what you need to expect as a buyer is you're going to have, all realtors now have to have a buyer's brokerage agreement, meaning you're going to have to negotiate with your buyer's agent how much compensation you're going to give them to complete the transaction. Now, there's been a whole bunch of different ideas of what people are going to do. They may break it down in a menu, like we charge this much for showing property, this much for negotiating and writing the contract, this much for handling the transaction. We're not sure yet because it's all brand new, but it's going to be very interesting in the next 6 months. And by the way, before I forget, this is supposed to take place in middle of July of 2024. So this may all change. Like I said, it has not been ratified, but this is what's on the table right now. And I wanted you to be informed because I've seen some pretty crazy headlines on the internet of what's actually going on. So just so you know, from now on, if you're a buyer, you're gonna have to sign a buyer's brokerage agreement, and this starts in July. Even if you want to see a house, like if I have a listing and somebody calls, hey, can I look at that house? We're going to have to create a buyer's broker agreement between me and that person. Or I'm going to have to say, you need to go fire a buyer's agent to represent you because I can't show you the house. So it's going to get a little bit complicated until we figure it out. I mean, during COVID, we were showing properties. We created the COVID addendums. Everybody had to sign that before they got in the house. So we've done it before. We can figure it out. I just want to give you a heads up on what's coming down the pipe. I'm not quite sure what we're going to do with open houses yet. I mean, am I going to have to create a buyer's brokerage agreement before anybody walks in the open house? These are some of the questions we have. We're trying to figure out. And when we do, I'll give you an update on this. But I just want to give you a short video of what's actually going on in the real estate industry, because I've seen a lot of crazy headlines. So if you're thinking about making the move to Lake Tahoe, Nevada, we love it. My team and I, we get phone calls, text messages, and emails from people just like you who are looking to make the move. So if you're thinking about making the move in 6 days, 6 weeks, 6 months, or even 16 months, go ahead and reach out, shoot me a text, send me an email, or give me a phone call, and I'll make sure that your move to Lake Tahoe, Nevada is the best real estate experience you've ever had.